right. So, Cora the artist. Hi. All right. So, talk to me. Tell me a little bit about yourself and the background of Cora the artist and how you got started.
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question. Well, I started when I was 9 years old as far as singing, but I would say I professionally started about 6 years ago.
Okay.
When I started interning at a studio right out of UMD. Shout out to the alumni. But I was going there for music business because I wanted to do the business side because I wasn't that confident in my vocal ability. I just didn't think I was that lit.
Okay.
And then all my friends was like, no, bitch, you lit. Like, so I was like, okay, cool. Shout out to Maya Milan. She was the person who told me to make my first original song because I was just doing covers in college or whatever. And then when I graduated and I started interning at that studio and I ran into David Knox, my producer, like it was just set from there. And basically I was a trash writer, but I had like just a natural swag about me that he fucked with. He saw potential. So we kind of molded that. I did a songwriting course with Cassette Michelle to really hone in on that. And I got some pretty good placements with some pretty dope companies and great people and artists as well. So that's like kind of the background of my music journey. And then Cora is just a real ass, crazy ass, fun little chick. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am naturally.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put that more in the music.
Okay.
Hence why I was releasing Black Magic shit, which I directed just to make sure people understood that I'm funny, or I like to think that I'm funny.
Which the video came out today, and I had the chance to actually watch it, and I loved it. It was so cute, and it was creative, and I didn't expect that. I did not expect it, but when I turned it on, I was like, ooh, okay, a little spicy.
I was really high, but it was great.
Yes, it was. All right. So, how much has growing up in the DMV inspired your music? Or what inspires your music?
Definitely my experiences. The DMV influences my, I would say, storytelling. But when I think about my swag, I feel like I have a more West Coast mixed with a down South swag. So that's kind of just where I see my sound. But damn, what was the question again?
It was just how has growing up here inspired you. But I definitely see the West Coast swag type of, even with how you dress, and I like it. It's cool. It's
I try to bring both kind of states together and shit like that, just to make it all cool, because I don't know if there's anyone out there that's quite like me, but there are a lot of people that's popping out with a similar sound, which I'm happy about, because that means I'm going in the right direction. But the DMV, as far as go-go and stuff like that, I used to be in a go-go band named World Premiere. I don't think nobody ever heard of it. Yes. But I'm not a go-go singer, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but New Impressions is my favorite band. So I had like the Southeast DC side, but then my mom was on PG side, and she's German, so she had a whole different, and that's who I was raised by mostly. So I feel like that's why I get this little, I don't know, for lack of better words, like white girly, but I still like cool type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I like that. That's what's up. Now that you say that, now that I know that, I can see that with, your visuals and the things that you put out. So that's what's up. All right, so speaking of your video that you just dropped today, Black Girl Shit, how does that song speak to you personally?
Black man shit. Okay, so here's my thing. Like I said, I'm German and African American. So a lot of times, and I look light skinned, right? So a lot of times, black people will be like, "You're not black for real. You don't know how to cook." Somebody asked me if I know how to fry chicken the other day, but growing up, like, and I'm a bomb ass cook, bitch. Wait, anyway. But the other day, I'm just like, what? Like, even growing up, it was just like that all the time. So this particular song, I wanted to hone in on my Black magic shit, because it's different for every black person. We're not a monogamous kind of being. Like, we're all multifaceted. So I just really wanted to hone in on that. But I also wanted to touch bases on like all the stereotypes as well. Like, hot sauce in my baggie, bitch don't touch my hair, I like it nice and nappy like an afro. And making that song was just me trying to get that one part that I keep saying over and over again, like perfect it. And I just ended up like keeping it that way. So I just feel like that really just speaks to how natural it was for me and us as a people, as a culture. And I just knew as far as a movement, it would be great too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like everyone can relate. I was at a show the other day and I was like, I know this for my black people, but where all my Asians and Indians at and my Caucasians, y'all got some magic too, but it ain't black magic. But it's because you're just not black. But y'all have Caucasian magic, you got Asian magic, because Asian niggas got swag, you know what I'm saying? They keep it nice and snatched, like they eat in proportion. Indian niggas got the flavors, okay? They got the, you know, shit in the middle of their head. They be praying to Buddha and all types of shit. So everyone has their own little
shout out
magic.
to everybody.
Everybody. But that one I just wanted to hone in on me and my experiences. And I think a lot of mixed girls, mixed men can relate as well.
Okay. Nice. All right. So I know that you are a BET songwriter. How did that come about exactly? Like, what was your journey with that?
It was all very God ordained, because I went to middle school. My stylist, Ariana Soleil, shout out to her. Go shop with her because she's lit. Her mother is the VP of BET International.
Okay.
So she saw me grow up, her mother. She saw me develop into the artist and that I was and that I am today. And then Ariana started styling. She was always a stylish like person, but she started styling and I was one of her first clients. So we kind of just teamed up and we built a strong relationship. Even though we went to middle school together, we built an even stronger relationship. Yeah. And then when I linked up with Dave and she saw what we were doing, she would come to the studio and stuff like that. She was just like, oh, this is lit. And so her mom just reached out back in like the end of 2014, was like, hey, I got this project about women in Liberia that got rifles that's trying to take their rights back. You trying? I was like, hell yeah. I was like, what kind of feel you're going for? And it was already in post-production, so they just sent me the whole thing with like not even all the way edited already. And it was just like, this is kind of the vibe we want to go for. Man, me and Dave knocked that out in one day. Wow. One day. And it was so awesome. And from there, we just kept building and doing different projects, whether it be gospel, it was all kinds of things. BET is a really, I know they've been in some shit lately, but they are really cool. They're really definitely supporting the Black people, and they've employed a lot of the people in this area, matter of fact, that are creative. So I appreciate them for all those opportunities, and they're walking me into the door of all these other companies, whether it's MTV, VH1, WSA9, any local news station, or even a major artist can be like, oh, you work with BET? I could give you a chance because you really don't get no respect as a new songwriter in this game for real. So that's kind of that journey. That's what's
up. And I mean, you said it, it was God ordained, and I am 100%, in tune with exactly what you mean. So I pray, success for you in your career, and I pray that you continue to let God guide you and lead you. All right. So you're an upcoming R&B artist in the DMV. You're beautiful. You're talented. You're outgoing. You're silly. You're fun.
No spicy beach.
Tell me how you handle your personal love life, and if you're currently in a relationship.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. I was in a relationship. I'm not gonna tell you who. It could be myself. It could be God, Jesus Christ. My good Judy. And it's amazing, but I will say this. In the last 4 years, the person that I chose to love was the best decision that I could have ever made in my whole entire life, as a woman, as a Black woman, as an artist, just as everything. This particular person has supported me with, I don't know, just like on some family shit. It's really weird. It's like he's almost my bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, for all the ladies out there looking for love, don't look for it, because these niggas need to pursue you, honey, because you're the prize and not them. And stop treating these niggas like shit, because these niggas, there's some niggas that's out here that's good. And you need to appreciate that and recognize that and stop being scared of that and stop pushing that shit away. Because if you want to go out here, the 80-20 rule, if you want to go out here and have that 80-20 rule where you're not getting that 20% with whoever you're with, you want to go out and step out on your partner, you got to understand that I found that cheating on someone versus getting cheated on is worse. Because you're not only fucking up your spiritual being, you're fucking up their whole mind and trust and everything. And that takes years or whatever that process is for them to heal.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage everyone to be honest and always, and don't get into a relationship if you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
that's big.
Because that's major. You know what I'm saying? We're young. Like, you have time.
Mm-hmm.
But also don't put yourself in a situation where y'all acting like y'all in a relationship and there's no exclusivity, because that's gonna hurt you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And like, you can't do that. we Beyonce Lemonade over here.
Yes, we gotta stay focused on the things that are most important. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. So, how do you feel about when people say they can't make it in music in the DMV?
I feel them 100%. But
Mm-hmm.
here's what I'm gonna say about that. You cannot let your circumstances, lack of resources, lack of money, whatever the fuck, stop you from creating something dope.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use the black magic shit, Joan. I put a black sheet on my kitchen floor. I told Ty, I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna put my little stage lights I got in this house that I already have because I bought it for my EP release. And I'm gonna lay down and you're gonna circle around my face. And then I'm gonna get you more clients that way. And he was like, cool. And so now we built like a whole, I don't know, method of doing things. Mm-hmm. And I was able to do a whole release party that cost me $150 to get liquor, chips, make sure that people have water. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that much. Like, you can do a lot with a little. And if you can show these labels or whoever you're trying to walk into the door with, what you can do with, if you can make $200 sound like look like $1,000, then they're gonna give you $1,500. Mm-hmm. Or if you can make $10,000 look like $100,000, then when you get the $10,000 or the $100,000, you're gonna make that shit like $1 million. So mm-hmm. It's an excuse, sis. And if you can't do it here, sis or bruh, leave, bruh, and then make sure you come back and actually learn some shit while you're out there. Because there's a lot of major artists in this area who don't know the business, but they try to act like it's a secret society, but you really don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
If you just maybe share what the fuck you learn and I share what I learned, we might could get there together, but everyone's so focused on self. Uh-huh. And that's just the devil.
Yeah.
When you start praising yourself and thinking you're the God, no, we can't survive without each other, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, if it was just me and you on this earth, I don't know how we gonna survive, because me and you both girls. Mm-hmm. So it's like we need each other, like, period. Period. Yes.
Nice. All right, so I'm gonna ask you like some one-word response questions.
Okay. I think I've seen this part of the interview. I like this. Come on.
Okay. All right. Stay independent or be signed?
Independent. Ideally. Okay. Realistically. Signed.
Okay. Yeah. Want to elaborate? Yes. Even though it is a one-word response, but I'm sure.
No, I'll elaborate. Like, being independent is beautiful. It's like the more you struggle, when you get there, the more you appreciate it and you won't take shit for granted. Okay. Just like I watched the Samuel L. Jackson joint on Breakfast Club the other day, and he said back then they used to have film, so they couldn't just keep rolling the tape. Mm-hmm. They had to really. They couldn't waste anything. Now, in this new age, we can just waste so much time, and we're not supposed to be doing that at all. So I feel like independently, you realize the value. If you go and you get signed and you don't know what your contract is saying, you don't know what's going on, then it could really fuck you up. Mm-hmm. And, you know, ideally, because I don't have an independent bag, like I'm not a drug dealer, I'm not a stripper, I don't have just a influx of cash coming in. Being signed under the right circumstances, a lot like what Ruprat said, is also a good route. It's just it's case by case. Okay. It depends on who you are, where you're at in your career. I would never judge someone if you're like, oh, you turned up $1 million, or oh, you just signed for $10,000. Like, no, whatever your journey leads you to, do that shit.
Okay. All right. Single life or married life? If you had to choose.
I'm a Taurus. I like to be comfortable, so I'll say married.
Married. Okay.
Yeah, like I like to eat, Netflix and chill. I like to grow a little food by here and there, music, grow it back. Yeah, I like to just cuddle up. I don't want all these spirits in my system, so single is hard. Yeah. But single is great sometimes too. So I ain't knocking the singles, but for me as a Taurus, a bitch that wants to be comfortable, put a ring on it.
Yes, married life. All right, drinker or smoker?
Smoker.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
I would have never thought that.
Really?
Yeah.
Girl, I started smoking when I was 13, bruh. My family's is a family full of addicts, unfortunately. But I started smoking at 13. I will say lately though, on my grown woman shit, like that shit, in the morning if I smoke, it gives me anxiety. So I have to do it at night when I'm not doing shit. I used to have to do it to work. But now I like to drink Pinot Grigio almost every day. And I don't know if that makes me an alcoholic or a functional one, but I love that shit. I like to pair it with like a blunt or two. I used to smoke like 10 blunts in a day. Now I smoke maybe 3 blunts a day.
Okay.
Unless it's a social thing going on, like how yesterday was. I opened the door with the blunt like, what's up, niggas?
Oh my God.
I know. Y'all can smoke it. I got edible. You know? I bought you guys some edibles today. You don't want to smoke, you want to ingest it. I ain't saying nobody did it, you know, but.
Yes. All right. Well, I really had so much fun talking to you and getting to know you. And I look forward to your projects and your future career. And so I wish you the best of luck.
August.
Yes. Do you want to shout out any projects you have coming up?
The next video I'm shooting is Eye of the Tiger. Dope ass concept. My brother Manny Wills is on there, so be on the lookout for that. I'm shooting that at the end of the beginning of July.
Okay.
And then August I have another project coming out. I haven't set my mind on the title yet, but just expect some projects coming out. And of course shows. I got a show in Virginia July 6th, and I have a show June 28th with Food Show at Songbird right here in DC. All
right. And lastly, before we close, if you had 30 seconds to tell the world anything, what would you tell them?
God first. You know what I'm saying? Timing is everything. Don't fill your heart with hate. Because if you're hating on the next man, you're not focused on what you need to be doing. Always love your neighbor. Crank that shit, be you, even if you're weird, awkward. I mean, even if you trip, you clumsy, like just be you and own you, because there's only one you. So, and you know, if you creep in life, and I ain't got much to say to you. That's it. Don't be a creep either, niggas. No creeps.
All right, well, thank you so much, Kora.
Thank you, girl. She should be in this show, because this bitch bad.
If you really got that shit, step forward. If you know your shit legit, step forward. When you hop up out the whip, is it for it? You got everybody lit in that order. Black magic shit, melanin fantastic shit, silk fancy shit, hot sauce in my baggy bitch. Afros what I like to wear, nice and nappy. But you cannot touch my hair, so stop asking. If you really about that shit, to step forward. If you know your shit legit, to step forward. When you hop up out the whip, is it for it? You got everybody lit in that order.